Let's talk Suns here and Clippers for just a second. I think for me, the Suns, I don't know how they can be stopped, man. If Kevin Durant is healthy, I really like this squad. When they made the trade, I jumped on plus 600 for them to win the championship. I just want to get your thoughts on who you think is going to win with Suns and Clippers. I know the Clippers got some like big key names on the squad, but who do you think is going to lead the series in points between the Suns and the Clippers? Throw a name at me. Who do you think?
Look, I know it's my namesake, but I'm going to go with Kawhi Leonard because I
Okay,
do
he is
think
favored.
Yeah, okay, well that I guess that makes sense because like you've got there's only one ball, right? And on the Clippers side, with no
Fair.
Paul George, like that's robbing us of this being the most interesting first round series.
Yeah, big
And
time.
again, homer alert, bias alert here. I have the Phoenix Suns winning in 6, so I'm giving the Clippers without
Okay.
Paul George 2 games here. It's just Kawhi Leonard has looked at least 90% of what he was pre-ACL injury. He's been fantastic down the last 6 weeks of the season. Chris, he played in a back-to-back. It's amazing. So like the fact that he looks so good and this team is still so deep, I do think they make this a little bit tough for Phoenix. But like you said, with KD, I think they just have a little bit too much talent here for the Clippers to get an upset here. And that's really the only disappointing thing I have to say about this Clippers team. I feel like they handled themselves really well down the stretch of the season. It's just unfortunate that Paul George had that knee sprain that's going to keep him out here, because I do think this would pretty clearly, in my opinion, be a first round series that would feel like a Western Conference final if he was healthy.
Oh, I know. We are definitely getting robbed of no Paul George because, as I mentioned, there's a lot of really good players in this series and only one ball. I knew you were going to go Kawhi. I kind of set you up for that. He is favored, but like some people may go Booker or KD, right? But there's a lot of different avenues like the Suns could go in that situation. Clippers plus 1.5 in the series at plus 150. Feel like they can kind of hang around here. So we'll get you out of here on this. Maybe rapid fire through a final 2 here. Eastern Conference Finals. Who are the 2 teams in the East?
Yeah, Bucks and Celtics, still boring here in the East for me, and I've got the Bucks coming out again. Like you mentioned earlier, and I agree with you, I think the Bucks are just kind of in their own tier right now in the league. I think Phoenix is the team that can challenge them the most in a potential finals matchup, which I think is also the chalk in terms of the most likely matchup in the NBA Finals. But shifting to the West here, I think Phoenix and Denver, to me, is, for all intents and purposes, the Western Conference Finals. I do think either of those teams will beat Golden State, who I have coming out of that bottom half of the bracket. Right now, if I had to just, no money on it, give me Phoenix to come out of the West. But I do think Denver is the value right now out West to win not just the conference at plus 380. They're behind even the Warriors at plus 350 on DraftKings right now. And then to win the title, 11-1 for the Nuggets. I mean, I think this team is getting a little bit of disrespect because they locked up the 1 seed so early and were able to kind of coast into the playoffs. And so I feel like some people feel like they maybe backed into this 1 seed, where I, on the other hand, feel like they totally earned it, and they have the 2-time reigning MVP, a guy in Nikola Jokic who has carried this team to a Western Conference Finals before, carried this team without Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. to a 48-34 record last year in a playoff appearance. Like, now that this team is fully healthy, give me the Nuggets in terms of putting any sort of scratch down on the Western Conference, because I think they have now become what I think is the best value on the board.
I agree. And if you like them, you got to like Joker there at 12-1 as well.